Welcome back to Living Local. It is time to check in with Movie Mike for what is new in theaters. Of course, Mike, appreciate you joining us.
A pleasure as always, you bet.
Mike Schultz is the arts editor for the River City Reader, joins us in studio, of course. So Bullet Train, I know you were kind of excited for it because of the action.
I was very excited for it, and I wound up, it's fine.
Oh.
I know, I was disappointed too. I was really hoping to love this. But it's entertaining enough. It's okay. It is, we talked about it last week a little bit. It's set on a bullet train in Japan where Brad Pitt is trying to find a missing suitcase. He used to be a contract killer, and now he just finds suitcases, I guess, for a living. But also on the train are a good half dozen other thieves and killers who are all either looking for the same suitcase or are trying to get revenge on a previous injustice or trying to lure a Russian mobster's son back home. He escaped. It's fast-paced. Its jokes aren't very funny for me. The action scenes are really, really well choreographed, but a little bit too frenetic, a little bit too hectic for me. It's really gory, which I appreciate because I'm that type. But it's also saddled with a whole bunch of unnecessary flashbacks and kind of too many goofy characters for me. It's one of those movies where I could see how if you were 15 and this was like the first R-rated action thriller you've ever seen, it might be your new favorite movie of all time. But I've seen a whole bunch of these, and so for me it was just fine. Brad Pitt is actually very funny. A few of the other cast members are good. Joey King and Brian Tyree Henry. Sandra Bullock shows up. We talked last week about the idea that there might be a Channing Tatum cameo.
Yeah,
there is indeed. That's all I'll say. So yeah, if it's a super violent kind of action comedy you want, you'll probably have some fun at it. I had some fun at it.
Okay. So nothing compared to John Wick, right?
Not compared. Same director, but not a John Wick movie.
All right. Yeah. So this next one, I'm shocked that you're not extremely excited for because you're kind of scared of it.
I'm scared of this one, yeah.
It's called Fall.
It is indeed, but this is going to hit all of my buttons on Fears of Fallen because that's way high up in the air. This is the story of two extreme climbers. They start at the beginning of the movie on a mountain, but there's a tragedy involving one of their team. And so a year later, one of the two young women who were climbing at the beginning decides to cheer up her friend by saying, hey, let's go on a new adventure and let's climb this 2,000-foot TV tower in the middle of the Southern California desert. Because why not, I guess. They find this abandoned tower. It looks safe enough for them. It has a ladder on the inside, so there's always stuff to grab. They figure it'll just be a harmless afternoon of entertainment until the ladder goes, and these two young ladies are stuck at the top of a 2,000... even looking at that, it just makes me nauseous. It's stuck at the top of a 2,000-foot tower with no way down and no pedestrians and no planes, and they have to kind of use their wits and try to figure out how to get out of this horrible, horrible mess. It was shot with IMAX cameras, so it's going to basically put you in the position of being trapped up there with these two people. And as much as I'm kind of looking forward to it because it looks great, I am also a nervous wreck because torturously, perilously high, heights like that just make me get all shaky. I'm all right. I'm shaky right on the chair. I'm like, all right, so we'll see how that goes.
But this next one's up your alleys. Up your alley, not up my alley. It is interesting title. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
That's 3 bodies, and I bet we're going to see even more, is my guess. This is a horror. Yes, it's a horror comedy about a young woman who just gets out of rehab, and she wants to introduce her new friend to her old high school gang. And so they go to the mansion of one of these friends, played by Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live, and they decide to get together for a hurricane party weekend, which is apparently something you do when a hurricane is coming to hit your mansion. So they all get together, they have a whole mess of fun, the lights go out because the hurricane is coming, and they decide this is the perfect time to play this kind of murder game, one of those, like Clue, basically, where who's the killer among us, and it turns out an actual serial killer shows up to wreck all the fun. So yes, it's going to be a horror comedy. It's got a very interesting cast beyond Mr. Pete Davidson. We do have the lead lead is Amanda Stenberg, who is a tremendous actress, was great in movies like Everything, Everything and The Hate U Give. It has Maria Bakalova, who got an Oscar nomination a couple years ago for the Borat sequel. She is tremendous. It has a Broadway actor named Lee Pace, who was also a TV star about a decade ago. Really good people, and yeah, it looks... I mean, the colors look kind of cool. I mean,
yeah,
it looks like it's shot in a really interesting manner, and could be some nasty let's watch young people get knocked off flick. So,
well,
you won't be there.
Yeah, I won't be there.
Okay.
You let us know. We're excited for the review. So,
fair
Mike,
enough.
As always, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. You bet.
So the movies we covered today was Bullet Train. Mike was like, you can go. You might enjoy a little bit of it, but of course the new ones are Fall, which he's not looking forward to, and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. You can read Mike's movie reviews inside the latest River Cities Reader on stands everywhere and online at rcreader.com. And for more information about today's movies, you can head over to rquadcities.com.